today, and you are the perfect person to be. There we are. You are the perfect person to be on. So for those of you that are watching the recording, I am Coach Linda Hillman. I am here with John RockOSteady, and we are going to be talking about what we can accomplish in 2016 in hopes to motivate you and get you moving forward. We were just having a conversation before the recording came on about when we're not doing something, and John said it this way: when he's not doing something, it kind of depresses him when he's laying low and not getting involved. And I too have been kind of in been in chill mode, because in the last 13 days of 2015, I pushed myself to accomplish a lot of things. And so I guess I needed to take a break and kind of relax. And so I've been feeling like, oh no, what am I doing? I haven't been on Periscope. I haven't been on Blab. I just been chilling. And so we're going to talk about what you can accomplish and how it's okay to take a break, understanding that the people are not going to go anywhere. If you put out the good content, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and they recognize the value of it, they're not going to go anywhere. Now, that doesn't say take a 6-month break. It just says that it's okay to go to the beach, put your feet in the sand and just relax and allow the creative juices to start to flow again. So I'm going to let Rocco talk while I go check out his video, and he's going to inspire you guys and tell you guys some of the things he's trying to accomplish in this year.
Oh man, well, thank you so much, Linda. It's an honor to be here. It's always an honor. Thank you for sharing your light and your wisdom and knowledge with the rest of the world here on Blab and for the rest of the social media. 2016 is a very special year. I'm so serious about 2016 that I moved into a location, and my address is 2016 Maine. I just moved here two weeks ago, and I specifically picked a place that was 2016 just as a constant reminder that this year is supposed to be my main year. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
For the last 4 years of my life, I have been diligently getting to know my craft, falling in love with my craft, to the point where I was willing to share it with anyone, everyone, anytime, anywhere. And so what I did was every week, 5 days out of the week, every day, 50 brand new people here in my city knew who I was, because I would go up to you and I'd be like, hey, how's it going? And then you'd be like, hey, what's up? And I'd be like, how's your day been? You'd be like, it's cool. And I'd be like, if I could make it better, will you let me? And they'd be like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, all I need you to do is pull out your cell phone. I need you to record me rapping to you, because I'm an inspirational hip hop artist. I believe in building people with my words, and I want to represent this city as an inspirational hip hop artist, because I believe that this city is the most positive city in the world. And they would pull out their cell phone, they would record me. And I said, all I need you to do is, when you like it, I need you to just post it on your Facebook and tag me. And I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want to get to know you. I want to open up my network to you and see what kind of possibilities we can explore. And then I would rap to them. I'd rap like a little 16-bar verse. So, I'd be like, now Houston is the diverse city on the map. I'm a rock for the nation and let them know the facts. I react like an alkali, search like an alchemist, allocate the algorithm actions of an altruist. I cut them shorter than an acronym when battling, barreling through the Vatican, apple ready like Adam and Eve. I'm a breathe in the season, spicing up my life, jazzing up this evening, serenading, sending arrows to the arrogant, careful with my words while these suckers stay garrulous. I love classy women, sort of like Marilyn, personality witty. I am smart when comparing up to alcoholic divas, mischievous senoritas that leave us when the grass is greener on the other side. I'm not these other guys. Look at this brother's eyes. I realize that we're human, and I'ma wonder why they undermine, embarrassing us Americans. Why would I ever want to keep up with a Kardashian? Now, words are powerful, so be careful what you say. And like I told you, I'm gonna make sure you have a better day. And I would just do it like that, And then they would like record me. And for the last 4 years of my life, every day, 5 days a week, I was going up to 50 people a day, 5 days a week. And that's 250 people a week.
Wow.
Brand new in the city of Houston. And our networks intersect. And I've performed over 487 shows the last 2 years of my life, and I've been in front of at least 1 million Houstonians performing. So needless to say, I've been planting a lot of seeds. Now, here's a lesson that I have to teach everybody. When you plant a lot of seeds, a lot of times you forget to enjoy the fruit of the seeds that you planted in the past. So I kept planting all these seeds, but I was grinding and I was planting more seeds. And what happens when seeds stack on top of seeds? They kill each other. They start strangling each other. They start, so my goal for 2016 is to nurture those seeds and enjoy the fruit. So I have over 10,000 fans that I've connected with. I have their contact information, and I could be out there trying to look for new seeds. I could be out there still doing the 50 people a day thing, but that's going to only wear me out doing the same thing. And I truly believe that in order to change the things in your life, you have to change the things in your life. So this is the year of nurturing, fertilizing, and enjoying the fruit. So I decided that I was going to diligently make 10,000 phone calls and ask everybody to buy my record. And explain to them what my mission and what my vision is for the city of Houston and why I'm selling my record and where my money is going. And each purchase is going to go towards a campaign called Do Better City, and it's to promote Houston as the most positive city in the world. We're not only the most multicultural city in the world, we're the most entrepreneurial, and we're also the coolest city according to Forbes magazine. So if we can make our city culturally the most positive, the energy capital of the world, which is Houston, the energy capital of the world, if we could become the most positive energy capital of the world, we will impact the world. And that's what everybody needs to know. These 10,000 people, I'm going to pick up the phone call, and I'm not going to go do these shows that I used to do. I used to do all these shows, Linda. I used to go out there in the streets and bleed the block all day, Linda. This is the year where I'm going to sit here and make a phone call to 10,000 people. And I guarantee 80% of my phone calls will translate into sales, because I'm going to explain it just like I explained it to you. And I know that I am passionate. I know that I believe in what I believe in. And I know that I'm very, very eloquent and articulate with the way that I speak about what I represent. And not only will I now garner sales, but I'm also going to garner investors and sponsors who are willing to get behind me. So that's my goal for 2016. My physical clear goal is 250,000. That's what I want. I sold over 5,000 records in 2 years, 2.5 years, and I made 6 figures in 2 years and got myself out of debt and out of my college loan. So now my goal is to get it out, to create.
Look, I need to hire you. I need to hire you, Rocco, so you can help me get out of my college loan.
Yeah, I mean, I literally
know what you did.
I literally sold 5,000 records in 2 years, and an independent artist that's unheard of. I ran the numbers. No independent artist in the United States of America has sold that much in that time limit, and sold it at the exponential rate that I sold it at. I sold it at $35 each.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So are you on iTunes and you have your own website?
I have all that stuff. I have all iTunes, website, that kind of stuff. My website is currently getting revamped right now, so that way it's conducive to the way that I sell. But in all honesty, Linda, God has opened up another door for me, and it's not the front door. I asked God 4 years ago, use me. Because I can't handle life on my own. I was really depressed, 275 pounds, smoking 2 packs of cigarettes, drinking every single day. My fiance cheated on me. I walked in on her. She ran me $65,000 into debt. And there's a huge story behind all of that. But through the whole experience and turmoil and struggle, I discovered my love for the power of words, my love for hip hop music, and my love for motivation and personal development. And so as I went through that whole process, falling in love allowed me to share it with everyone, anyone, anytime, anywhere. I'd meet people up at 3 o'clock in the morning at the gas station just to rap to them, and they'll forever remember that, and that's really what it was. It was just me going out there and sharing my gift with the world. And as I started sharing my gift with the world, doors started opening, and God truly told me to walk through the back door. He's like, don't walk through the front door, baby boy, walk through the back door. And as I'm walking through the back door, I don't even care about iTunes sales. I don't even care about TuneCore or record label business or whatever any sort of standardized business the music industry has been functioning on for the last, 80 years. God has me going a whole nother route, which is this 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35. And it's worked. And I keep all of my profits. No one's sucking the blood out of my neck.
Exactly.
No one's telling me how to creatively function. I have full control, full freedom, and full profit.
Wow. I love that you said that God told you to go through the back door, because I think that if you're in this day and age, if you're going to do anything that's meaningful, it has to be done unconventional. It has to. And so I'm kind of in that realm right now where I'm doing things and people are like, why are you doing it like that? And I'm like, because this is how it was shown to me. This is how God gave it to me. And so I appreciate that, because right now, that's my grind, is doing everything, not the normal way, not doing what every other coach is out there doing. And so,
Right.
and it takes a little bit more, I think, a little bit more of my energy to stay focused, because it's so easy to want to fall back and do, well, this one said do it this way, or this one said do it that way. But it seems like whenever I try to do it the conventional way, it all falls apart. So I have to do it a little bit differently. And so I am excited about my future, but then it's like there's nobody out there that's doing it like this. You know what I mean? So there's no one to look and say, oh, well, she did that, so let me try that, because there's no one doing it. So I appreciate, because you just kind of motivated me and just kind of said, okay, Linda, get out there and do your grind. So I'm getting ready to do that. But tell us about this grant, since you're here and nobody else is here yet. People keep popping in and out, but tell us about that grant. I have your video queued, and I didn't want to watch it while you were talking, but tell us, how did you find out about the grant? How did you apply for the grant? How did you get the success you've gotten so far? Because I think you said you're on the top 3, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's there's no secret sauce. I was just authentic to my truth and who I am, and they found me. They found me because I've performed for over 75 cultural festivals and 87 civic celebrations around the city. I'm heavily active and involved with the city's affairs. I'm also I work closely with the mayor and all of our constituents. I work closely with the community leaders as an advocate and a spokesperson for multiculturalism. So people know me as that type of individual. So after doing it for 4 years, Linda, I've sort of become the go-to guy when it comes to community outreach and things like that. So they found me and they recommended me. And then so after they recommended me, I went through what's up, Leah? I went through the interview process. After I've gone through the interview process and the application process, I made it through. Out of 375 people, I made it through, and now it's just the final gut. And that's what the video I just sent to you. That's the video I sent to everybody in my Blab family, just to get a little different perspective from different people and share with people really what my 2016 mission and vision is. This video encapsulates all of that. So it knocked out 2 birds with 1 stone. Not only was it almost like a manifestation moving movie vision board for me, but it also allowed me to use it as my grant application. So
exactly. Yeah. And I love that. And welcome Kente and Leah for popping in. You guys can get in the seats if you like. I love that, because you said that not only did you mentioned earlier, not only did God tell you go through the back door, but now that you've been true to who you are, people are seeking you out. And one of my one of my affirmations is that people are seeking for what I have. So I don't have to, kind of go out and tell people my affirmation are daily. People are seeking me out, and they're finding me because of the information and because of the knowledge that I have. So I appreciate that, because that lets me know once again that, I am on the right path. And so I'm excited for you. I really am.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's really about sharing your gift. It's like before people seek for you, they have to actually know you exist. So you just have to share it with, I mean, unrelentlessly and unapologetically share yourself with everyone. That's why you'll see me on blabs and just hopping on and just sharing who I am, just and then rapping with people and just letting them know who I am, because you got to know who I am. You got to know what I do. You got to know what my purpose on earth is. So that way, if I can serve you, I'd love to serve you. And I mean, I perform at senior citizen homes, Linda. Like I'll perform at like autistic kids centers, and I'll perform at like handicap societies and the Palestinian community where they don't even speak English. I'll perform for people that don't speak English just because I want them to know who I am. You know, it's just that's just the way God told me to walk through the back door and not judge his people and just share my gift with everybody. I don't even believe in a target market, because the majority of my people that purchase my records, they don't even care for my music. They love the message.
Exactly.
They like the fact that I am bold as an individual and I'm willing to share that message. And then I turn people that don't like hip hop into hip hop lovers.
Exactly. Because
the majority of my fan base is like 35 and above, 35 to like 60. That's my demographic right there that purchase majority of my albums, because they actually have money, you know?
Yeah, that's important. When you want to make money, you got to go to those that got money. That's very important. I remember my coach telling me, she's like, okay, well, you can't target people that can't pay you. So you gotta go the other route. And so I appreciate that. Listen. You spit for us before, and I love when you rap. You just got to know that. I love when you rap. I just love it. I was like, yeah, do it. So do you want to show us anything else, or you want to tell us anything else? You got a message for those that are here? We got Kente, me, Leah just popped out. So you got a message for us?
Oh man, the message is very simple. There's power in words. You have a choice. There's a power in choice. You can destroy, you can build with your words. I would encourage everybody to seek to build people with their words, because the way we speak to ourselves and the way we speak to others is a direct reflection and projection of the reality we create.
Exactly.
And to unwrap that gift for the sake that Christmas just passed, unwrap that gift that's inside of you. Remember who you are, because a lot of people, they say you have to find yourself. I would encourage people to remind yourself who you are, because the authenticity really lies in that inner child that was wounded at one point. And we're all wounded children. We all are subjectified to experiences in life that allow us to kill our dream. So continue to dream, continue to utilize your imagination, have fun, play, enjoy the journey, laugh, and it will directly reflect into your reality, and you can make anything happen. It's absolutely amazing.
Exactly. Tell me one thing, because I know I've heard your story, or I should say bits and pieces of your story on other blabs, and I know that you went through something that caused you to have to, like you say, re-examine yourself and redefine, well, not really redefine yourself, but change your mindset is what I want to say. So you could become this positive light that you are today. And so what can you kind of tell us what your journey was? Because I know for me, my journey was very spiritual. It was very introspective. I had to go back in, like you said, into me and really reattach myself to the little girl that was hurt, and allow her to express her truth, and then embrace that and deal with it as a grown woman. And so tell me, what was your process like?
Man, I mean, after my ex fiance cheated on me and put me $65,000 in debt after she was supporting a drug habit and another guy's vehicle on my credit. I evicted myself from a condo unit, and I was sleeping in my Mazda Miata as a 275-pound man. I would shower and brush my teeth at 24-hour fitness, and I would work out as hard as I could possibly work out just so I could fall asleep every night in my Mazda Miata. And I had spent the last $15,000 that I had in a studio and I would record, and I basically ostracized myself from society, from my family, from my friends, and dedicated myself to recording an album in the studio. And that's where I discovered the power of words and the power of the relationship that I can build with myself. And that's really where it happened. It happened there. Hip hop was the vehicle that I drove in order to rewire my brain and heal myself. Whatever I wanted to happen in my life, whatever I wanted to heal, whatever I wanted to speak into existence, I rapped it. And I would be so obsessive about it. I'm talking about I would listen to the song probably 100 times a day. Like it would just be on my headphones, and I'd listen to it while I was asleep. And I'm a very addictive personality. If I was a crackhead, I'd be the crackhead Olympic king. You know, like I'm just like extremely obsessive. I'm very, very neurotic when it comes to like what I love. And so that's what I did. I literally rewired my brain through extreme repetition and extreme circumstances and just over a duration of time. And, you know, that's the secret to accomplishing anything really, is a burning desire over a certain amount of time.
Exactly.
That's really what it is.
Exactly.
If it doesn't happen in your life, you ain't really want it.
Exactly.
You ain't really want
exactly.
it. You say you want it, but you ain't really want it.
Exactly. Because I say all the time, there's no such thing as trying. If you say, I'm going to try to stand up, Coach Nori, if you say I'm gonna try to stand up and you stand up, then you've done it. You know what I mean? There's no try to it. If you say I'm going to try to take a shower, you get in the shower, you take a shower, you've done it. And so I think that we say things that limit us because we don't know any better. And if we learn differently, then we do differently. And so I really appreciate that. I really want to commend you on all the things that you have accomplished and all the things that you are doing. I mean, whenever you walk into a blab, you know, I wanted to say into a room, but it's not really a room, it's a blab, right? Whenever you come into a blab, I always smile because I'm like, oh, there's Rocco, you know, and I don't care how I'm feeling. You bring a smile to my face. You know, you don't get on. It's not that you come in on the camera. It's just I see your name in the chat room. And I'm like, oh, Rocco's here. Yay. You know, and I start to smile. And to me, there's not a whole lot of people that, you know, that I met that can do that for me, you know, regardless. I mean, we don't really talk. We've talked a few times, but every time you come around, it's like, boom, you know, it's just a smile. It's just a smile. So I appreciate everything that you do because you are accomplishing I think even at a greater magnitude than you know, you are accomplishing your mission. You know, you're doing it, and you inspire me to keep doing what I do. Even when it gets hard, you know, I just think, man, and if Rocco can do it, I can do it. You know, if John can make it happen, I can make it happen. And so I thank you and commend you for everything that you're doing because you are a light. You're a beacon.
Well, thank you, Linda. I received that, you know, and there was a point in my life where I couldn't receive that. I'd be like, no, but I truly do receive everything that you're saying because what you see in me is a direct reflection of what you see in yourself. And I believe you. I believe that I am awesome. I believe that I'm great. And I believe that I'm accomplishing my true
You
purpose.
are.
And I thank you for saying such beautiful things to me and fueling. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I want you to know the other day you said something about, I think we were talking about vision board or something. And you said, what did you say? You said something about finding a girl, a nice Filipino girl or something. And I prayed for you that night. I was like, God, send him the finest Filipino girl on the planet because he deserves it. So I just want you to know I did. I prayed for your success in that area.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited because, you know, we attract who we are. And if I would have attracted who I was if I would have committed to who I was back then and who I was going to be matched with back then, I wouldn't be too happy. But
yeah,
at the rate that I'm going, I got a saying, you know, upgrade to a better you to attract the best boo. You know, I got that saying. And the
Exactly.
person that I'm becoming, every step along the way, I'm becoming an even better man, and even more authentic and more real to who I am. And I'm so excited to attract who I am, because I wouldn't
Exactly.
mind dating myself.
Exactly. That's what I tell people all the time. If you don't like to hang out with yourself, why would I? You know, and it's just what it is. You know, I mean, I love me. I love spending time with me. You know what I mean? So why wouldn't somebody else want to
Right.
spend time with me? So I appreciate you. I really do. Coach Nori, you want to come up and tell us about your accomplishments? So fast track and he doesn't even know it. Oh, she's complimenting you, Rocco. Did you see her
Yo,
comments?
yeah, Coach Nori's awesome. I love her. She's a manifestation coach. Have you met Coach Nori?
I've been in blabs with her. I don't know if we've actually talked though.
Oh, she's awesome. You gotta meet
Because
her.
I'm like the
Yeah.
type of person I like to sit on the sidelines and I don't really come on camera a whole lot. But this year, that's one of my accomplishments is to come on because I do Periscope. But I haven't really done a lot of blabbing. And so I was like, well, let me, I got the whole Periscope thing down. So let me try to get blab down. And so that's my goal now is to come on blab a little bit more and get on camera, not just sit in the comment on the sideline, but to actually get on camera and share, like you said,
Right.
share my wisdom and share my knowledge and share my gift with all that I can.
Right. So what are your goals for 2016, Linda?
Well, my goal is one of the goals that I'm trying to accomplish right now is, well, not trying to, here we go. One of the goals that I will accomplish is publishing one book a month for the next 12 months. And I'm going to do my very first fiction series. And it's going to be loosely, and I mean very loosely, um, what do you call that? An adaptation of my
Autobiography?
life. So, the main character is going to be loosely based on me, loosely, very loosely. Um, because I just feel like there's so much that I wrote a book about my life, which is coming out this month, but I decided that there were so many things that so many other stories that are not my story, but I know about them. And I just kind of want to smash all of that into one character and really speak a message through fiction to people that might be going through these different circumstances. So it's called End of Days, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this series goes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And then, of course, building my coaching up. And I'm also working on my website. And I'm going to try to do a lot of bold movements this year to get that on the map and to let people know that, transformation empowerment coach Linda Hillman is here to stay and she's doing big things. So,
Awesome.
yeah. Hey,
Well,
Kevin,
listen,
how you doing?
I'm gonna I'm gonna head out. I have to get going, but I just
Okay.
wanted to stop in, and you always get me engaged in a beautiful conversation. Thank you for having me, Linda.
Well, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I mean, I wouldn't have
And
had the
and
show
then let,
without you. So
and then let me know if I could ever do anything for you. I'm here. All right.
I sure will. Actually, maybe we can you're on Twitter, right? I'm gonna DM
Yeah.
you on Twitter and maybe we can set up like an official um interview because that's what my show is going to be on Blab. I'm going to interview people. So maybe we can set that up and let you come on and just kind of do more of what you do.
Sounds good. I
All right. All
DM
right.
me.
Thank you.
I take care.
You too. So, Kevin, you want to come up and chat? Anybody got some accomplishments, some goals that you have that you want to share with us? You could take a seat. I think that it's really important, just while we have like a little lag here, it's really important for us to um, set SMART goals for 2016, even though it's gone. I was going to talk about, when I initially did this, I was going to talk about why you shouldn't set resolutions and how resolutions are, they set you up for failure. But then I decided that I didn't want to make it a negative thing. I wanted to make it positive. I wanted to inspire people and to get them, just get them moving. And so I know that there are a lot of people out there who are trying to push forward. And so I wanted to give them a platform where they could come talk about their accomplishments and talk about what they want to accomplish in this year, 2016. And I finally get to see, well, I think I've seen you. I just don't think we've
Linda?
talked. Hi. Yeah,
Hi,
how you doing?
Good. I can't do the camera part because I have my phone laying down. That's my GPS.
Okay.
But I adore you. I love your energy. I love your love. I love your prayers. And I just am so excited for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know that my heart is to see people succeed in life, and it comes from a place of not having and I guess, we all can say this, but it comes from a place of not having that support around me. And so I figure that, you are what you attract what you create. And so I'm like, if I create support for other people, then I'll get the support that I need. And not only that, but we all succeed. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Absolutely.
Let me be what I want to be for others. And then we both succeed in getting what we want and need in life.
Yes.
So,
and
yeah.
I so feel that from
So
you. I feel that from you, that you want others to succeed. And I guess I'm kind of intuiting that maybe you did not have support around you when you were, maybe that's what your book is going to be about. And if that's true, I totally share that with you. And, we are kind of unique because not everybody who had no support, or who went through difficult times can be as loving and as generous and giving. Sometimes they go the other way. So
exactly.
I think, we are so blessed,
Yeah, and for a time, just to share a little bit of who my journey, for a time I was that person. I was that I call myself a bully, and I really was. I mean, I was a fighter, literal fighter, and and I did a lot of damage in my life. But at some point I decided that wasn't who I really was.
Right.
You know what I mean? I used to tell people this is what you get when you get Linda, but that's not who I really was. And it took me about a year, maybe a year and a half, to go through a process of healing and dealing with the hurt and dealing with why did I feel that I needed to be this angry person all the time. And I tell people and they laugh, but I was like, you guys haven't seen an angry Black woman until you saw me back then. Because back then I was extremely angry and Black and a woman.
Well, sometimes we fight to survive. It just depends on what
exactly.
Yeah, but
yeah, and that's exactly what I thought I had to do until I went through the process of healing, and then I realized I fight in a different way now. I fight for others that have been victimized. I fight for and I even fight for the bully, because I understand that mindset that sometimes it's not really them just being mean, it's they're hurting. And so you have to recognize that, because hurt people hurt other people. And so now that I know that mindset and that process that we go through to become that angry person, or to become that one that wants to pick on others, or and sometimes we just feel like if I do this, then people will stay away and they won't hurt me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I'm this unwanted person, so nobody will want to hurt me anymore. And so I understand that, but I also understand what it means to be a victim and to suffer, abuse and the violence that, that causes people to do that. And so I am excited. My book is going to be Don't Count Me Out, because that's what people did. They counted me out, oh, that's just Linda, or, she'll never be this, she'll never do this. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how this book will make room for itself in the world, because I believe it's a story that needs to be told. It may not be a story for everyone. Hey, Carla.
Well, I'm so
it may
excited for your
a story for everyone.
Yes. Well,
but I think for the chosen few, it will enlighten them. And I'm talking about the bully and the victim. I think it's going to heal them.
I think there's a lot of people who could receive a message in that. So I have to run, but I would love to come back and talk with you. I just wanted to tell you that I absolutely adore you, and I will come back and talk with you again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you, and I look forward to talking.
Me too.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey, Carla. How you doing? You want to come up and chat, Carla? Okay, that's wonderful. So while we're waiting for Carla to come up, because I don't want the recording just to go, for those of you that are watching, again, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I want to give you just a little bit of information on how to set some SMART goals. I know that you guys have already set your New Year's resolutions. And like I said earlier, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I believe that they set you up for failure. What I do believe in is you having a absolute plan of setting some SMART goals. And SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals that will allow you to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. And so in this new year, don't just say, I want to lose weight, or don't just say, I want to lose 20 pounds, but really set a SMART goal. So what does that look like? A SMART goal, first, it has to be specific. So if you want to lose 20 pounds, that's great. But also it has to be measurable, right? And so when do you want to have this done? And what things can you put in place that are going to allow you to make sure that you're on track? And I believe in 90-day goals. So don't set a goal for, in 3 years, I want to have such and such. What can I do in 90 days? What can I accomplish in 90 days? And that might be a milestone to your 3-year goal, because I'm not one that says don't plan ahead. Don't have short-term goals, but also have long-term goals. But I believe that if you're going to set a long-term goal, then you need to have these milestones that 30-day intervals that you can check to make sure that you're attaining that goal, because I believe that goals have to be attainable. And so in your 90-day goal, you're going to say, I want to lose 20 pounds in 90 days. Okay. So now, even more specific than that, I want to lose 20 pounds by March 31st, so you have something that you can look at. You have a start and you have a finish, and then you have these little measurable milestones that you can look at. And 20 pounds by March 31st is attainable, right? That's very doable. There's not even a whole lot of work to that. And so and how I know is because I've done 20 pounds in 90 days. So I know that you can do that. So it's attainable. And then it needs to be relevant. A goal has to speak to who you are and where you want to go. If it's not a goal that speaks to who you are and where you want to go, then you will always find yourself not attaining that goal, because it becomes something less value. The things that you value, you always push up. The things that you value, you always prioritize. So if this goal that you have set is something that you can keep pushing back, then it doesn't mean anything to you, and you need to drop it. You need to let it go. You need to find a way of making that goal speak to you. Because when it speaks to you, like, say, for instance, I have a goal to write 12 books this year. And I've said, okay, each month I want to write a new book. So this month, in the month of January, my autobiography is coming out. In February, I'm writing a book about loving yourself. In March, I'm writing a book, and they're already planned out. And they're going through, and then hopefully by the end of this year, I'll be releasing book 1 and 2 of my End of Days fiction series, which is going to be my first attempt at writing fiction. And so I'm excited that, this is something that I can do. And at the end of last year, if you guys have been following me on Periscope or anything like that, you know that I wrote Start Strong, Finish Strong in just 2 weeks. And that was from start to finish. And so it's not a hard thing. And I think that's like 7 or 8 chapters. It's a pretty decent size. It's not a lengthy book, but it's a pretty decent sized book. And it has a lot of good value in it. It's not something that I just wrote in it, just to write something. I actually put a lot of work into it, but it only took me 2 weeks to get that out. And so my deadline for that was December the 8th, and it came out December the 8th, and you're still able to download it for free. It'll be available to the mass March the 1st, but it'll be something that you'll purchase. So I decided to pre-launch it December the 8th and let people download it for free, so people can get used to my voice as a coach. They can get used to my thought process as a coach. They can get used to what it is that I do as a coach, because that's what that book offers. It offers Linda the coach. It's not Linda the pastor. It's not Linda the publisher. It's Linda the coach. It's just me coaching you on how to start strong and finish strong. And so things like that, it just allows me to know that I'm on the right track. It's something that I can do. So I could set this goal to write books, 12 books over, this next year. And I know that I will accomplish it. It's not something that I'm wondering, can I do this? This is me pushing myself to the next level, to get myself out there, not only as a coach, but to get out, the message of hope that I preach every Sunday in my churches. And so I already have 2 books on Amazon. And like I said, I'm coming out with another one this month, which is about me, my personal journey, and how the healing process is real, how the transformation process is real. Because people say, well, how do you know that you're transformed? Well, if you read my book, you'll see the transformation happens, and you'll be introduced to who I was or who I thought I was, and you'll be reintroduced to who I am today. And so I'm excited about that. And so again, going back to SMART goals, when you set SMART goals, it's easier for you to accomplish it. It's not stressful. It's okay, by such and such, I have to have this done. And when the goals are relevant to who you are and what you're trying to do, it's not a push. It's not work to make it happen. It's, you want to make it happen because this is who you are. This is what you do, and if you're doing what you love, then you want to do this. And I I think that many of us do what we love, but it's an expensive hobby. And it's a hobby because we're not willing to really sit down and define how to make this work in our lives. And so that's what, this year is all about for me, is really talking to people, and saying, look, are you really doing what you love? And if you love what you're doing, and this doesn't have to do with just starting a business or being an entrepreneur, this has to do with you just living your life to the fullest, whether it be in relationship, whether it be vocational, whether it be spiritual, whether it be emotional, mentally, physically, however you want to look at it. This is what I'm here to help you do. I'm here to transform your life from what it is today into the life that you desire. I think a friend of mine said, you help people live an epic life. Well, that's what I want to do for everyone. I want everyone to experience that, because we all should be happy about the lives that we're living. And if we're not, we should be willing to work on that. We should be willing to say, look, I'm willing to make the adjustments in my life so I can be happy. I'm willing to experience true joy. I'm willing to be who I was created to be and do what I was created to do. So I'm not dreading getting up in the morning. I'm not looking at my life and shaking my head and saying, where is this all going and what's really happening? And so when you really get into that, when you really understand that, then it's easy for you to accomplish things in 2016. It's easy for you to set goals that you want to achieve, goals that you want to put on your mantle and say, look what I've accomplished in my life. And just, because I am so excited about what I did in 2015, the last 13 days of 2015. I'm excited. I'm excited about everything I did in 2015. 2015 was not a great year for me, but it was because I've learned so much, and I've learned how to, the pitfalls and the things that I had to suffer through. Because the last quarter of 2015, I had someone die almost every month. People in my life, and I'm not talking about metaphorically die, I'm talking about physically die. And it seemed like every time I thought I was okay, I've grieved over this, I'm okay, I got news that somebody else died. And okay, so now I'm grieving for both of these, but now, okay, then I got to the point where, okay, I'm okay, and then my brother died, and I was like, oh God, here we go again. And then even the last few days of 2015, I got another word that a niece of mine died, and she was killed, so it wasn't her being sick or, anything like that. It was, she was shot. And then it's, feeling the rage of, people not caring for other people's lives and not valuing life. And there was just so much going on, but yet I was still pushing towards my goals. I was still pushing towards, getting myself out there and doing the things that I needed to do. And so, for the first few days of 2016, I needed to take a breather. I needed to collect Linda and say, okay, come back in. Let's kind of work this thing out. Let's totally mourn for everyone that you need to mourn for. Let's, think about things. Let's go inside and really see how you're feeling. Let's journal. Let's do all of this. Let's read a few books. Let's just let yourself go. And today I come out of obscurity and I'm here and I'm ready to move forward. And, life is good. It's good. Yeah, these people are gone and I'm going to miss them and all of that. And I still want justice for my niece. All of that. But the thing about it is I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to mend. I'm ready to move forward. And so here I am. And so if you notice, that I kind of kept pushing this show back back. You know, it was supposed to be on January 1st, and then it was January, it was the 2nd, and then it was like, okay, I'm not going to do it till the 5th, you know, because I needed to make sure that my mind was right, and that when I came energized and focused on what it was I needed to do. And so I'm here. And so you know, and I hope that my lessons in my life become something that will allow you to see, well, if she can do it, if she can get over that kind of stuff, if she can get over being this awful person to becoming this person that she is today, then I can do it. If she can come out of obscurity and grow her business and do all the things that she's trying to do, then I can do it too. If she can be a good person, I can be a good person. Because that's what it's all about. It's about that transforming. It's about renewing yourself and not allowing your circumstances and your situations to dictate and determine what you can do or what you can't do. And so I am excited about 2016. Hopefully you are. I'm going to stop the recording. I've been waiting on Carla to come up because she says she has a message and some news for us. And so when she comes back on, I'll restart the recording so we can record that, so it'll be made available to those of you that are watching the replay. I want to thank everyone that stopped in, whether it was for a minute or 10 minutes or, you know, or for the whole time, because I appreciate you guys. I know that there's, you know, a million other things that you could be doing, right? And you chose to be a part of this. And actually, before I stop the recording, I want to, hopefully by the time I finish with this story, Carla will be here. If not, we'll stop the recording. We'll wait for her and then we'll start it up again. But there was a story that I heard recently, and it was a story about, you know, some individuals coming to California during the gold rush. And, you know, the gold rush was like a wonderful time, right? Someone struck gold and people came from, you know, everywhere across the country trying to capitalize on becoming rich, becoming, you know, being the next one to strike it big. And so all these people were coming, but there was this one man, his name was R.U. Darby, who decided that he and his nephew, R.U. Darby and his nephew would come from Baltimore to California for the sole purpose of striking it big. And when they got here, you know, they went over the terrain and all of the situations that occur in traveling. And you have to look at, this was like the 1800s, right? 1857 or 18, you know, between 1849 and 1857, they were coming, right? And so they were horseback riding, they were on their feet, you know, there was no cars, no planes, so this was a long journey. And I'm sure along the way, there were times when they had situations that wanted to make them go back, but they chose to keep going. And then when they finally got to California, they picked the place where they were going to start to mine or dig, whatever gold miners do, right? And so they're digging with their little pitchfork because they don't have the jackhammers. They don't have any of that. They don't have any of our modern day things. So they're, you know, when they talk about manual labor, it was as manual as you can get without just using their hands, right? And so they're doing this and they're digging and they strike. And they get something and they, you know, pull it out and it doesn't look like gold. So they're not really sure what this is, but they know it has to be something. And basically what they struck was ore. And if you know anything about ore, you know that ore is it's the, what do you call it? It's the pre-product of gold. And so they struck this ore and they sent it to some factory or whatever to analyze it to see if it was something worthy of them continuing doing what they were doing. Hey, Cam, welcome. And what they found is that they had actually something better than striking gold. They had this pre-product of gold, and that this would make them a lot of money. And because of the quality of it, they needed to not leave that place. They needed to stay right there and mine and get all of the ore that they could, because they were going to be rich individuals. And so what R.U. Darby and his nephew decided to do was they cleaned up everything, backtracked, made sure that nobody else could find that area. They went back to their home and went and talked to all of their family, all of their friends, and said, hey, look, we found this place where we can make money. We didn't strike gold, we struck ore. Ore is the pre-product of gold. And if we can mine and get all of this ore, we are going to be rich. We're going to be everything. All of our worries are going to be gone. And so what I love about it is that these people knew R.U. Darby and his nephew enough that they said, you know what, we're going to give you money. And so they got all this money. They went back, they bought all of this machinery to make it easier for them to get in and get what they needed. They went back to California. They started mining, and they forgot where they were. They went back to the same spot, but they forgot the spot, the X marks the spot, right? They forgot where that was. And so they were mining, and they weren't, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, they weren't getting anything. And so they decided to give up, and they went to a junk man. And I'm going somewhere with this. They went to a junk man and they said, look, we got this equipment. We need to go home. We're tired. We're not doing what we thought we were going to do. Obviously, there wasn't the ore we thought there. And the man who listened to their story bought their machinery, and R.U. Darby and his nephew left. The junk man decided, you know what? I wonder if I can go and find this ore that they were talking about. And so he went and got him a miner, got him somebody that had education and knowledge about mining, went to that spot, and the man did his little calculations, and he said, you know what? If you go and mine right here, you'll hit the ore that they were trying to find. And so the whole essence of this story is R.U. Darby had the idea and he was on the right path, but he gave up. And with him giving up, this other man who didn't do all of the pre-work, right? He didn't do all the stuff that R.U. Darby did. He benefited from it because he hit the ore and became very, very, very rich. And R.U. Darby went home with just a little bit of it. And so what I want you to know, and what I'm trying to say to you is, when you're trying to accomplish things, you never know how close you are to your end result. And so if you give up, say today, if you make poor goals today and it causes you not to hit X marks the spot, right? I want you to know that don't give up. Just kind of rework it and understand that, you know what, you thought it was here. You thought your X was here, but it's actually here. Because where he found the ore was just 3 feet away from where Darby said it was. And so sometimes you're right there, but you just have to tweak it a little bit. And so now we have Carla, we have Brett. Carla says she has a wonderful announcement, but it looks like she's still on the phone. So we'll talk to Brett. Hey, Brett, how you doing?
Hello, Linda. Hey, Carla.
Okay.
Hey, Brett, how are you?
Doing pretty good.
So what's up? What are you guys trying to accomplish in 2016?
Well, my first goal is simply survival.
Okay, that's a good goal.
I try to always make sure that the goals that I'm reaching for are goals that I can actually accomplish.
Okay. And what, besides survival, what else are you trying to accomplish?
World peace, that kind of stuff.
Okay, world peace. That is a very lofty goal, sir.
I was watching Obama recently. He said he's trying to get things done about guns. I think that's a cool goal.
I'm sorry, son.
I was watching President Obama, and he's got some good ideas about guns. I usually don't agree with him on anything, but I dug what he said this time.
Yeah. I was reading an article about him today about his stance on guns, and there was a quote that he said, I guess he was like, I'm not trying to take guns away. I'm just trying to say, if you want to buy a gun, then go through the process of buying a gun. And, and I thought that was interesting that, we have gun control, but people are still getting guns without going through the process. And so I kind of appreciate him for saying, stop trying to work around it. And we know ideally that's what people should do. But realistically, people look for shortcuts and ways of getting guns when they shouldn't have them. So I think, right. I'm anxious to see what this is going to do and how this is going to play out. So, Miss Carla, what's the big announcement? I've been waiting.
And I'll make you wait. No, I won't make you wait any longer. I'll give you a little bit of it. I am rebranding myself as the Giggle Fest. I will have a new website up by February called thegigglefest.com.
Cool.
And we have, I don't know if you know that, but on every Friday night at 8:00, I do a blab with Alexia Anastasia. Okay. And it's the Giggle Fest blab, and we laugh a lot, we talk a lot, and we're doing that to raise money for different charities every month.
Oh,
and we're picking.
Maybe I should give you guys my charity so you guys have raised some money for my charity.
Well, that's what I was hoping for. Can I go first?
Exactly, because I'm like, this year I really need some help.
Well, I do too, but I'm not raising it for myself or raising it to help others.
Well, I need some help.
No, that's what I'm saying. My nonprofits need help. That's what I'm saying.
What is your nonprofit?
I have a nonprofit for women that are abused, sexually abused, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all of that. And I normally deal with women in shelters and that. And then I have a second one where I deal with basically the same, but it's, they don't have to be in a shelter. They can be just a individual, man or woman, that has gone through any type of abuse. Mostly spiritual abuse in that area. And I help them, through the transformation process, I help them overcome. But what we do is we want to be able to adopt families that are in need and not just help them during the holidays, but help them throughout the year. So
wonderful.
So that's kind of where I'm at. And I keep trying to raise money and I keep coming up short. So we have to turn families away, because if we don't have enough to help them, once the money runs out, then we have to turn people away. So if I could get like a steady flow of money coming in, then we can do more for our community and hopefully nationwide.
Well, do me a favor. We're doing this. You went mute. Did I begin talking too quickly?
No, I'm here. I can hear you.
So you guys
Okay.
gonna adopt
Do
me
me a
or what?
favor. Right now we have these we have a project that we're working on for January, but
Okay.
possibly for one of the other months this year. So
Okay.
come on, let us know the name and we'll check it out. Or
Okay.
Alexia will. She's really good at this. And
Okay.
it's possible that we can help you.
All right, I sure will. I love it, and I know that you know, just fundraising in general for nonprofits is a good idea because there's a lot of small ones. The big ones, they seem to be able to get funding and grants and things like that, but little ones, they struggle a lot. And I think, to me, just I guess because I am a small nonprofit, I think we do more, or we try to do more. We're more aggressive in what we're trying to do, and there's not a whole lot of the red tape because people can easily access us. And like I said, we do have an application process for those families that we adopt, but we just try to do more. It's not just a holiday thing, it's a year thing. Because I think that if you help someone in the holidays, it's kind of like giving them a fish. I rather teach them how to fish. So
I agree with you. So come on Friday night.
Okay.
And we'll give you an opportunity to speak a little about it, and we'll look into it.
All right, that sounds great. Thank you for coming on, Miss Giggle Fest. So I guess you're not going to be the laughing, what is this, the laughing rebel?
I won't be Laughter Revolution because I want to get more control over my website. So we're just changing things around a little.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. So Brett, I know that you're trying to survive and trying to
actually, Linda, I have to get off because I have to be on Periscope in 14 minutes.
Okay.
I didn't look at the time when I came on. So I have to say goodbye, but I'll talk to you later.
All right. Thank you for stopping by, Carla. It's always good to see you. Say again?
Please come Friday.
I will try to be there Friday. I do have something else that I'm supposed to do. And I guess I should have asked you, what was the time zone? 8 o'clock, what time zone? Because I'm in Pacific Standard Time Zone, but we'll see. So Brett, what is your nonprofit?
Oh, basically, I was kind of, how shall I say, on that particular comment, not all my subjects, I was stating, hey, I'm open to a loan. So, I went into a room where some people were talking about how they successfully became millionaires and all that kind of stuff. And I said, Christmas was really hard. I was barely able to get all the kind of gifts I wanted to get for my children and wife and all that. I said, it'd be great to get a loan. And they go, well, we don't give out stuff like that. And I said, well, that's what your title of your room claims. So I figured I'd come in and give it a shot.
Wow. Yeah. And it to me, it's amazing to me how do I want to say this? It's amazing to me how people are unwilling to help. Put it that way. Yeah, they're unwilling to help. But there's people like me that want to be able to give to others and
right.
Want to be able to give to others, and and I believe that I will attract those that are willing to pour into my bucket so I can pour out, because I don't believe that I believe that God will take care of me. Whatever it is that I need, He will supply. So I don't need to look for me. But I do think there are some people that do need that extra help. And and they don't have the same resources that I have to go get that help. And so if I can help them, then, I feel that I've accomplished something in life. And,
Right.
with my business and with the other things that I'm trying to do, hopefully I will be that millionaire that'll be on Blab saying, this is how I became a millionaire. And, and be able to then help somebody else, give them a handout. Because I think, we're helpers one to another. And if I can't help you, I should be able to point you in the right direction to get the help
Right.
that you.
Linda, in my belief system, and of course you can tell I'm a God believer by my logo, right?
Yeah, God TV.
I don't see nowhere in my belief where it says that life is going to be wonderful and fair or anything like that. But I do believe that God created us all with the ability, hands, legs, feet, whatever the case, to help each other. And unfortunately, it's not like we don't see people giving out money for different things, but people tend to give money for ridiculous stuff. I'll give you an example. I seen a guy who doesn't even believe in God ask for money so he can get bananas to shove up his own butt, and people paid him to do it. But I also seen another person who was suffering and hurting, didn't even have a home, and they told him, get a job, screw you, you loser. So people are weird.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's just, I was just thinking about that because there was a guy who I heard about actually here on Blab who put up a GoFundMe page so people would pay him so he could do his show. And I was like, but Blab is a free platform. It's not even like they even have an option to pay. You know what I mean? So why would you want to raise money to do a free show that's costing you nothing? And then, someone had to explain, oh, well, he's traveling across. Actually, it was Periscope. He was on Blab, and then he went to Periscope, and he's raising money to do his Periscope show. And they're like, well, he's going to be traveling from coast to coast, and putting different types of people on Periscope. And I was like, okay, and I went to his GoFundMe page. He's trying to raise $10,000 and he has like 9,000 and some odd dollars. He's only a few dollars away. And I'm like, really? And I said, I need people to help me help others. And, only a couple of people gave to that. So I was like, oh, okay. All right.
You know what I think this is? Because I know there's some people out there who are probably going to ask, well, you both believe in God. Why do you think God allows it kind of stuff? I think that God lets us see this kind of stuff so whenever we get to heaven, we go, oh, now I get it. We don't want to live like that, right? Okay,
exactly.
I get it. So we figured it
out. Exactly. And not only that, but, I think, I'm a faith person, so I believe that, you get what you believe. And if you don't truly believe it, then, there's a struggle in that. So, at some point I have to, take ownership and say, well, Linda, maybe you didn't do everything that you needed to do to attract the givers that you needed to attract. But then I also believe that sometimes it's just, people see the need, and it's kind of like the Good Samaritan story, the priest and the doctor saw the need.
Ma'am, I got a knock on my door. I'm not leaving your chat room. I'm not leaving Blab.
Oh, okay.
But I got to go see who's at the door.
Not a problem.
Just real quick.
Thank you.
Real quick. I'm enjoying hearing you.
Not a problem. So I know he's gone, but I'm going to finish my thought. And I believe that the Good Samaritan story, the priest and the doctor, or I should say the priest and the Levite, which is what the Bible calls them, they saw the need and they chose to go around it. They chose to look the other way. And then the Good Samaritan, who was someone who was, depending on who this person was that was sitting, that had been beat by the thieves and, mugged and all of this. whoever this person was, if it was a Jew, this Samaritan was not a friend. This Samaritan was someone that they could not, that they didn't like, put it that way. You know, the whole racism thing was going on. The Samaritan was considered lower than the Jew. But this Samaritan, who knew that this man may not like him, decided, I'm going to help him. And not only am I going to help him, I'm going to make sure that he has no need, he has no want. And so when he took him to the hotel, he was like, you know, whatever this man doesn't, don't charge him anything. Whatever he needs, give it to him. And when I come back through here, I will make sure that I pay his debt. And I think that sometimes we forget that. And you know, for those of you that are not biblical or may not be familiar with the Good Samaritan story, there's an illustration that's similar to that says, you know, a man fell into a pit. And when he fell into this pit, this lawyer came by, and the lawyer looked at him, and he was like, can you please help me get out of this pit? And the lawyer threw him $100. And he was like, okay, what do I do with this? I'm in a pit. And so the lawyer went on his way, and then a doctor came by, and he was like, can you help me get out of this pit? And he was like, yeah, sure. And he wrote him a prescription and threw it in the pit. And he's like, what am I supposed to do with this prescription? I'm in a pit. And he, you know, the doctor went on his way. And then just an average Joe comes and sees him in the pit, and he says, can you help me out of this pit? And the average Joe jumps in, and he's like, what'd you do that for? Why did you jump in? And he said, you know what? I've been in this pit before, and I can show you the way out. And so sometimes it takes, you know, somebody that's been there, done that, to show you the way out. And then sometimes it takes just a kind heart, just someone who says, you know what? I don't have a lot, but what I have, we can share. And I believe that, you know, to me, when you give, it comes back to you, and it comes back to you more than you give. I believe, you know, I believe in the reaping and the sowing. I believe in the harvest time. I believe in all of that because I've seen it in my own life. I've given, you know, and then I've seen it come back to me. And so when you plant one seed, that one seed can multiply. You know, it's the law of multiplication. It multiplies. And so you start to see more, you start to get more. But when you try to hoard it or try to hold it and think, well, if I give this, then I don't have anything else. And when you do that, you limit your potential of receiving. And so I think, you know, and sometimes, you know, I'm not perfect in this area. Sometimes I'm just that. I don't want to give because this is my last. And so I try to hold on to it until I get more, but more doesn't come because I'm not giving. And I believe that if you really want to really see abundance, then you have to be able to give, and to give out of what you have. You know, there's a story in the Bible about the woman with the 2 mites. And, you know, somebody might say, I don't know that story either. Basically, the story is that, you know, she's in a church setting and she gives all that she has. And it's only 2 mites, which is very little, you know, according to the story. And then there's a rich guy that comes in and he gives out of his abundance, but he gives very little. And so she was honored for giving all she had. Not saying that when you go to church, you have to give all that you have, but she was giving her all and saying that, you know what, this is what I believe is worth me giving my last, is worth that. And I believe that the moral of the story is she probably received a lot more than the rich man did. And she was able to go on, you know, because she was willing to give. Okay. And so that's kind of where we are with all of this. Okay. So now that ends this show. I wanted to be on here to talk about accomplishments. Hopefully you got something out of this show. I'm here talking with Brett, and we're going to have like a little after chat when he returns. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being a part of today's show. And hopefully you got something out of it that's going to help you have a very accomplished 2016. So we'll see you soon. Be here for our next show, which is going to be January the 19th, where we're going to be talking about fundraising.